Hi, in this video tutorial we are going to demonstrate how you may record test cases on your web application quickly and replay them in vREST. This functionality only works for Google Chrome browser. vREST HTTP Recorder is simply a Chrome browser extension. It is a very simple and powerful tool which records the HTTP requests of a web application under test, and it will automatically store them as test cases in vREST. It can be configured to filter out the HTTP requests according to the content type and URL pattern for recording, and it can be directly installed from the Chrome Web Store. As we have already installed the vREST Chrome extension, once you install this extension, you will be able to see this extension icon in red color. When you click on this extension icon, you will see the list of items. First menu is Start Recording. When you click on this, then extension will start recording the HTTP requests of the currently opened tab. An extension icon automatically changes from red color to green color. Here, red color means that the extension is not recording any HTTP requests, and the green color means that the extension is recording the HTTP requests being fired in the current tab. Next menu item is Extension Configuration. By clicking on this, you will be redirected to the extension configuration page. We will look at this later. The third menu item is simply the link to vREST application. Now first, let's look at our sample test application of which test cases we want to record. So this is our sample test application. The application allows you to browse through a list of contacts as well as add, update, and delete contacts. In this video tutorial, we will see how you may record test cases of this contact application. To start recording test cases of this test application, we will need to first configure the extension. So simply click on Extension icon and then select the menu item configuration. An extension configuration will open like this. Here we will provide the necessary details for recording. Here provide the instance name, project name, and select the desired test suite in which you want to restore this recorded test case. Let's select Test Suite Record and Replay for this demonstration. You may even associate authorization, versions, and tags information to the recorded test cases. Next section is Recording Filters section. When a web page is loaded, then there are numerous page requests. So if you don't apply any filters, then a lot of junk will be recorded in the vREST. To avoid this, you may specify some filters here to filter out the HTTP request for recording. The first filter is based on requests type. If you just want to record the XHR request, then just untick other filters here. Next is URL pattern filter. Here you may specify the filters on HTTP request URLs. Suppose we want to record the HTTP request for which request URL starts with this URL. Now, most important step. Save this configuration by clicking on the Save Configuration button. And we are ready to record the test cases for our sample test application. Let's move on to our sample test application. To start recording of this tab, just click on Extension icon and then select the menu item Start Recording. The icon will turn from red to green color. Now let's record some test cases by manually testing our web application. Please note that the vREST recorder will only record the HTTP requests fired by your web application frontend. Suppose we want to test the list contact API. Then we may click on Browser Contacts link. Recorder will record the list contact API which is just fired to fetch this list of contacts. We may even see this recorder request in vREST application. As you can see that the extension icon has again turned into red when we switch to another tab. This is because the recorder is not recording this tab. Recorder appends the recorded test cases in the configured test suite. So select the desired test suite here in the vREST application. If the desired test suite was already selected, then just click on Reload button to see the recorded test cases. You can see that the recorder has recorded the list contact API test case. We will look at this recorded test case details later. Let's record some more test cases. Going back to our sample test application. You may notice that the extension icon automatically turns into green. The recorder will not stop recording this tab's request until you explicitly stop it by clicking on the Cancel button. Now let's record some test cases related to the Add Contact API. Just click on the Add Contact link. In this form, name field is required. Suppose we provide all the details except the name field because we are here checking a negative scenario. As you can see that an error has occurred. If you have provided client-side validation, then you might not be able to record the negative test cases because no server-side request will be fired. Now provide the proper name to the validate Add Contact API with all the valid details. And then click on the Save button to save this contact. As you can see that a contact has been created successfully. You may see the contact ID of the newly created contact here in the form. Now let's modify this contact to validate the Update Contact API scenario. The contact has been modified. And now click on Delete button to delete the contact. This will record the Delete Contact API requests. If you do not want to record further, then either click on Cancel button here or click on Extension icon and then select Stop Recording menu item. Let's stop the recording by clicking on Cancel button, because this way you may stop the recording from any tab in this browser. Let's see these recorded test cases in vREST. Just click on Reload button to see the newly recorded test cases. As you can see here, all the recorded test cases. So this is how you may record test cases in vREST. You will need to tweak these test cases a little bit in order to replay them. Let's do it step by step. First, provide some meaningful summary to make our test cases more readable for other team members of the project. Let's see what recorder actually records in a test case. Let's see the Add Contact API test case with the blank name. You may see that the recorder has recorded the URL and the method property, and it will also record few other properties based on the recorder configuration. Then in Request Parameters tab, recorder records the query and the body parameters. Then in the Assertions tab, recorder creates a status code assertion based on the status code of the HTTP request recorded. It also sets the expected body, but it does not enable the expected body. So if you enable the expected body, you will be able to see the actual API response body. So basically, recorder records all the details of the HTTP requests. It will save you a lot of effort of manually creating the test cases. Now as you can see that the Update Contact API and the Delete Contact API uses a static ID. We will need to extract the contact ID from Add Contact API variable and then use that variable in Update and Delete Contact API. You may extract the contact ID from add-contact API test case like this. Now you will need to replace the contact ID used in update and delete contact API with the contact ID variable. We are now ready to replay the recorded test cases. Now click on the button Run all test cases to replay them. As you can see that all the test cases are passing. As you might have already seen that the record and replay is a very powerful feature of vREST to quickly record your test cases in vREST. You may access the vREST user guide and then visit the HTTP recording via Chrome extensions section for more information.